everyone, it's Di here from Di's Stand. Now I'm doing this card at the beginning of May because the card that I'm actually making is for a client who asked for a Mother's Day card, and I've always liked this card, so I thought I would do it with you, but sorry that it's at the end of May when it goes live. This is called a never-ending card, and it will stand up like this. How gorgeous is that? And now I've got two here for you already. So I've got two, one in a teen or younger person, one for a male, and then we're going to make a female one. So this is how it works. You get the card and you open it this way, then you open it this way, then you open it this way, and you're back at the beginning. So I'll do it with this one. You've got your happy birthday to you on this one. Open it up and it says happy birthday, and a cake. Open it up this way and it says happy birthday. Pull it around this way and it says it's your birthday, and then we'll bring it back to the beginning. So we're going to make this card today, except that I'm not going to decorate it with you. What I will do is I will make the card, turn you off, decorate the card, and then put it back on, because you don't need to see me fiddle around not knowing what I want to put on the card. So that's the card we're making today. It's called a never-ending card. I'm sure you've all seen them before. So let me show you exactly what you need. And I've done a lot of the work here because this is a lot of sticking things together, so we don't need to do that. So we need 4 pieces of 3 inches by 6 inches, and just make sure when you cut them that they're all even. If they're not, then you need to trim them so that they are. You'll need 8 pieces, and I've already stuck 7 of them together. 8 pieces of card, or I'm using mirror card here. There's 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then 8 pieces of designer series paper that measure 2.5 by 2.5. So let's pop them on one side. Actually, I'll stick this together as we go, because mirror card always takes a bit longer to dry on. So if we do it as we go, we know. Now if you've got, like me, directional paper, the next piece you will need to cut 8 pieces of card that measure 2 3/4 by 1 1/4, and I have actually written on the back long, because they are lengthwise ones. So you'll need 4 that are lengthwise and 4 that are widthwise, which is this one as well, and they are 1 inch by 2.5 inches. So I've actually marked that on the back because I'm gluing them together, so that I know which ones and I don't get them mixed up. So you'll need 8 of those. So that was 8 at 2 1/4 by 1 1/4, 2 3/4, sorry, by 1 1/4, and 8 DSP at 2.5 by 1. So let's pop them out of the way because they're done. And then we need 8 more pieces that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 and 1 by 1. So this paper that I'm using here is retired. So I'll stick that one on there, and then they can all sit there and dry while we work on the main part of the card. Oops, that's got a little bit squished out the side. Let me just, so one thing I like about this glue, I can wipe that over with my finger and it will be fine. A damp finger, that is. Okay, let me put my pin back into my thing, and we're going to work on these 4 pieces of card here. So I'm going to bring in my scoreboard, and we're going to score all 4 of these at, I can't see, 1 1/2, making sure we've got the small end of the thing, and 4 1/2. And then we're going to turn it over and we're going to score it again at 1 1/2 and 4 1/2. And we're going to do that on all 4 pieces. So 1 1/2, 4 1/2. Turn it over, 1 1/2, 4 1/2. right over the top of the other line. This is because we're going to fold this both directions, and by doing this it stops it from cracking. So one more time, 1.5, 4.5, turn it over, 1.5 and 4.5. Once we've done that, we're going to fold and burnish these score lines both ways on all 4 of them. Now I could have done 3 of these ahead of time, I guess. I didn't think of that. I did all the sticking together, but not the rest. Okay, now by doing the scoring on both sides, you will find that it will help it to not crack along the score lines when it's folded in the opposite way. So that's why we do that, because it breaks the fibres in that section so that they're all the same, all the fibres are the same. Now I've seen people put this together where they put tape on here, you know, like double-sided tape. I don't like double-sided tape. I think I've made one years ago, and for me the double-sided tape actually falls apart, and after a while I get really angry with it. So now I'm going to bring in my ruler and I'm going to mark down 1.5 inches, just a line like so on both sides of my first sheet. Then I'm going to put some glue in that area, making sure that it gets right up to the top corner. And then I'm going to bring in the next sheet and I'm going to put it the opposite way, like so. And I'm going to bring it up so that it actually joins nicely right in this corner here. So that's why I like to use glue too, because it gives you that wiggle room to get that nicely across that section there. Once I'm happy with that one, I'm going to bring in the other one, next one. I'm going to do this side. And I'm going to bring in another one. And I'm going to butt it up against this so that these score lines match up. And it should match up nicely on this edge. Whoops, that didn't go together well, did it? Now, you can see I didn't get that real crash hot. But you know what? I find that for me, and you don't want to overlap this, that as long as I get these nice and even, we can trim any excess off. So I'm not happy with that. I'm really not happy with that one. Or that one. No, just that one. So I'm going to glue him again in that section. And making sure that it's butted up again there, but not tight. Not tight. You don't want it tight in that area. And we're going to bring that in. Oh gosh. Gosh almighty. So we've put the glue on this piece again, because I pulled it apart. It just didn't seem to be going together really nicely. And we're going to pop this one onto this corner here. Now if it's a little bit over like it is here, don't worry about that, because we want to make sure that it's nice. We will trim around that edge after. Once we've got those two on, we're going to turn this over and we're going to measure down on this section here 1.5 inches again, and this one the same. And I'm going to pop a bit of glue, oops, go over there pencil, on this corner. So we've turned it over, and now we're going to glue that corner onto this one, making sure that we get it nice and neat in the corner, or as nice and neat as can be. And then we're going to push that back out of the way and put glue in this other corner. So virtually we've glued all of these pieces of card together in the corners. like so. So it's only that corner. Let's turn it over this way. Only this corner, this one and this one. Once you've done that, we can now fold it through each section and burnish them down. And like with me, I'm just going to put my pin in my glue because it's 28 degrees outside today. Get in there, pin. If you've got your pencil marks showing, you can just erase them. Well, I will if I can get my eraser in there. Yeah, there you go. Not on that side. That way, we can pop it this way now. And we're going to fold and burnish these ones through. Removing the pencil marks again if they're in the way. And then round again. And this way you'll see if it's going to catch. Like, see, it's catching just there. And then back through. So we can see that it's just catching a tiny bit on that edge there. See how they just overlap? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my trimmer. And I'm going to trim just the smidgenest bit off of that piece. So this doesn't happen every time, but if it does, you're better off to cut it off now and be right than not to. So we're going to go through it again. Yes, that folds nicely. See how that's catching just there? So we can fold that one that way. That one catching just there. So we're going to cut a tiny bit off of this one. Come out of the way. A piece of bit. Back to the beginning. So we're going to do it one more time. It folds nice. It folds nice. It folds and catches just there. So we need to do that one a tiny bit as well. As I say, it's better to do this now and it all folds around nicely than not to. Okay, we're back again. Folds. Folds. It folds. It folds. And you're back to the beginning. See how easy that now folds around. Oops, if I put that board out of the way and we can lay this down, we can see it folds over beautifully. Folds this way, beautifully. This way, beautifully. That way, beautifully. So we're back at the beginning. And now I like to just put here front. So I know that this is the front. So that when I pull it this way, and double check it, I know that's the front. So we're going to do I will do the layering with you, all of the layers. So we're going to pop 2 of these layers. And as I've got a directional paper, I need to make sure I've got them up the correct way. So the first layer will be like so. Alright, so we're going to now glue those together. So we know that that's our front. And as I say, if you've got directional paper, make sure you pop them on the correct way around. That's our front done. How pretty is that? So we're going to open it up, and we know that we're going to pop, just make sure that's down nicely. We're going to pop another couple of these on here, and then we're going to pop our 4 little ones in the corner. We're not going to worry about these ones here on the side here at this stage, because they are going to be on the next page over. So I'm going to glue these ones down. Sorry, I'm getting out of the picture a little bit. Oops, turn that around the correct way. Making sure I have my pattern up the right way, which I know that that is the way it's supposed to be sitting. So now at this stage you could actually put, instead of 8 of these, you could put 6, and then do 12 of the other size, but I didn't want to do that. I think that this way is better. So then we're going to turn this again, and we're going to pop 2 more of these in here with 4 more of these little ones, the last 4 of these little ones. So we're going to make sure that's burnished down nicely, and we're going to put these in here. Oh, come here. Once again, making sure that everything is up the correct way. And then we're going to do the last turn, which is this way, and that means that these 2 go on here, and then we've got our lengthwise ones here and here. So we'll glue those on. Now you can see that it's getting quite bulky. So when you're decorating the card, you won't want to put too many embellishments in there, you know, like diamantes or things like that. Only on the front, maybe on the back as well, but definitely not on the inside, because it will actually make it very bulky and harder to turn. Oh gosh, sit down. Go on, makes that sit. That one's not sitting down either. Okay, so let me put the pin back in my glue for a minute. I'm just going to make sure these are all down nice and tight, and then we can pop it back to the beginning like so. There we go, all the way around. So there's my beginning, because my paces are going this way. Alright, so I've got it that way, folds this way, folds this way, and that way, and back again to the beginning. So what I will do now is I will actually turn off my video. I will actually finish decorating this card and come back and show you what I've actually done. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, all decorated. What do you think? I have decorated the front with some circles and put Happy Mother's Day on there with the peel-offs that I had, and I've put them along the top and the bottom with little pearls in them. I've only put the pearls on the front because otherwise it gets too bulky. Inside I have put little peel-offs in the four corners. I've put Mum down either side, Happy Mother's Day there, and a daffodil. When it opens up you can still see the Mum. You can see how bulky it is with having the things on the front, and a couple of peel-offs in roses. We turn it this way and we have the back of the card with the place to do your writing, and we're back at the front, so we can always turn that over and do our writing here before we fold it through. So what do you think? I think they are absolutely gorgeous. I love them all. This one was thought for a younger person with the balloons on it and the cake in there. And again I put some peel-offs in there, and back to the beginning. This one I did for a man, as I said before. Opens up, got this lovely motorbike in there, right the way around. You've got your writing panel on the back. We're back at the beginning. And then the one that I've done for a client who wanted a Mother's Day card for his daughters to give to their mother. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be happy with this one. I hope he is. So this is just absolutely stunning. So that's my card. It's called a never-ending card. If you'd like the written tutorial for this, head down below here. You'll find the link to Diane for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. That's my Facebook group. You'll be able to go to there and be able to get the measurements and the written tutorial. The measurements are in inches and metric, so I do it in both. That way, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can measure it. I'm just not real good with metric measurements at all, so I have done mine with all. When I do them this way, I talk in inches. So if you've enjoyed that, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more projects, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.